Fear paralyzes many of us. Fear can cause us to sit on the sideline. Fear can cause us to turn around in the face of resistance. But fear can be cured through persistence, through daily, consistent acts of courage. We've made it to episode 9, the 8th step on your journey to becoming rich: persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Remember, step 2 is faith, one of the principles that's required for you to have in order for you to attain that of which you truly desire. The foundation of persistence is willpower. And Mr. Hill tells us that the combination of willpower with your burning desire makes an irresistible pair. Those two is what cultivates faith, is what feeds your subconscious to direct you toward that which you desire. I was listening to a broadcast recently. Person on the broadcast said it's sustainability that makes you great. When it comes to success, when it comes to attaining the wealth that you desire, it's your persistent effort that's focused on your chief aim, that you persistently apply all 13 principles in Think and Grow Rich, you accomplish that of which you truly want, truly desire. Persistence is so important, and Mr. Hill says there may be no heroic connotation of the word persistence, but the quality is to character of man that carbon is to steel. In essence, you cannot achieve that of which you truly desire without persistence, without that willpower. Persistence that helps you stand in the face of defeat, see it as temporary defeat, and also allows you to identify the opportunity that comes. Without persistence, you treat a setback as failure and you stop. Some of us are born with just the nature of persistence. But Mr. Hill tells us not to worry. You don't have to be born with it. It is a habit that you can create. It's a habit that you can cultivate. And he gives instructions on how you can do that. One of the ways he says, if you find that you're lacking persistence, lacking in willpower, focus on your desires. Maybe you need to light a fire onto that which you desire. Maybe it doesn't have the emotional connection yet. Maybe it's at this point in your life, it's just a talking point. It's just a wish. It's not something that you go to bed thinking about. It's not something that you wake up thinking about. Once you attach that emotional element to that desire, you engage persistence. So Mr. Hill tells us, go back to step 1, where he instructed you of stating a desire, stating when you're going to accomplish it by, stating what your plan. Twice a day, instill it in your subconscious. Mr. Hill tells us you continue to do that. It will foster the persistence to continue when we will be faced with setbacks. Because setbacks are inevitable, but you can make your resistance, your sustainability, your persistence, and habit when facing setbacks. Mr. Hill tells us persistence is a state of mind. And like all other states of mind, it can be trained. It can be cultivated. And he says persistence is based upon certain causes, definite causes. And the first one that he tells us is definiteness of purpose. As he states, knowing what one wants is the first and perhaps the most important step toward the development of persistence. A strong motive forces one to surmount many difficulties. When you know what you want and you are laser focused on it, you will do whatever is necessary to achieve that goal, to achieve that purpose. When you're not locked in, when you're not clear about what it is your purpose, what it is you truly want, then you will go wherever the wind takes you. If there's resistance in one way, you'll turn and go the other way. Until you find resistance that way, then you'll turn again. You will not be leading yourself. Circumstances will be dictating where you go. And you'll find yourself standing on the sideline of life. Others are going after what they really want. Others are going after their dream. You're standing on the sideline talking about what can be, what could be. You're standing on the sideline talking about why it won't happen, why it can't happen, what disadvantages you have in life, what advantages you don't have in life, what somebody else has that you don't have, which is why you can't get it done. You're standing on the sideline of life. But those who are clear about what they want, those who are owning what they want, those who have a purpose, do not stand on the sideline. They go get it. One of the causes of persistence is belief in oneself, believing that you can accomplish what it is you set out to accomplish, believing that you have the qualities within yourself to create that. Mr. Hill lists 8 causes that will cultivate persistence. One that I want to focus on is habit. And he says persistence is the direct result of habit. The mind absorbs and becomes a part of the daily experiences upon which it feeds. Fear, the worst of all enemies, can be cured by forced repetition of acts of courage. Fear paralyzes many of us. Fear can cause us to sit on the sideline. Fear can cause us to turn around in the face of resistance. But fear can be cured through persistence, through daily, consistent acts of courage. Simply put, by executing, by keep going. You have your definite purpose. You have your organized plan. You execute. When you face a temporary defeat, you see the opportunities that's presented in the face of temporary defeat. You treat it as temporary defeat. Failure is not part of your vocabulary, and neither is fear. And Mr. Hill addresses one of the most common fears, criticism. Many of us are so concerned about what others think of us, what others think of what we do, and what others think of who we are. We give so much power and weight to other people's opinions. And Ms. Hill tells us that prevents us from living our own lives. He says, people refuse to take chances in business because they fear the criticism which may follow if they fail. The fear of criticism in such cases is stronger than a desire for success. Some people do not aim high enough because they fear that if they don't accomplish that of which they aim for, others may criticize them. Mitchell says, I discovered that most ideas are stillborn. Need the breath of life injected into them through definite plans of immediate action. The time to nurse an idea is at the time of its birth. Every minute it lives gives it a better chance of surviving. The fear of criticism is at the bottom of the destruction of most ideas, which never reach the planning and action stage. We've talked about your idea, your definite purpose, and your ideal. You have to accomplish it. And we said, start right away. Start working on developing the plan and start right away. Feed your subconscious. And the reason we say that is because the more energy you give it, the more breath you give it, the greater it becomes. And the more you act consistently, the more you overcome fear. The more you are persistent about doing what is required to accomplish your definite purpose, the more you overcome fear, the higher degree that you will get off the sideline and get into the game. Stop being a spectator to your own life and become a participant. Become the true captain of your own team. Stop waiting for a break. Stop waiting for the perfect time. As Ms. Hill tells us, the only break anyone can afford to rely upon is self-made break. These come through the application of persistence. The starting point is definiteness of purpose. That's where your break comes from, not because of someone else. That's where your break comes from. Self-made breaks, not from wishing, it's from doing, focused on your definite purpose. You will find that the more you do that's consistent with your definite purpose, the more breaks you will have, because your mind will be open. And Mr. O tells us, riches do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite plans backed by definite desires through constant persistence. Definite plans, definite desires, consistent, constant persistence. And at the end of the chapter, Mr. Hill lays out the 4 steps to developing persistence. And he says that there is a magnificent reward for all men who learn to take these 4 steps. It is the privilege of writing one's own ticket and of making life yield whatever price it asks. If you want to write your own ticket and get what you demand from life, take these 4 steps to develop persistence. 1, a definite purpose backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. 2, a definite plan expressing continuous action. 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. If they're not trying to uplift you, get rid of them or minimize them in your life. And 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plans and purpose. He says, these 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. The entire purpose of the 13 principles is to enable one to take these steps, these 4 steps, as a matter of habit. And what is habit? You don't have to constantly think about it. You just do it. It's part of your subconscious. It's a habit. It becomes like brushing your teeth. You don't have to think about how you do it. You just do it. So this is the opportunity for you to go back to week 2, desire, in the exercise that we have in that chapter. State your definite desire. State what date you intend on accomplishing it by. State what you are willing to give up to make it a reality. What price are you willing to pay? Write it out, clear and concise statement. Say it twice, once in the morning and once at night. Focus. Get clarity on your chief purpose. Ignore people's criticisms. For this week, commit to working on those 4 steps of cultivating, of developing persistence. Commit to making it a habit. I will see you next week.